My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and doing really well. And today I'm reviewing Bad Boy Le Parfum by Caroline Herrera. This is £54 and 90p for 50ml. £54 and 40p for 100ml. That doesn't make sense at all, does it? And £95 and 40p for 150ml. The description, oh, I'm not reading all of that. Got better things to do with my time. The top notes are grapefruit and cannabis. Middle notes are black pepper, geranium. The base notes of leather and vetiver. And this is a leather-based fragrance. I hope it doesn't smell of weed. Do we have our bottles of Bad Boy Le Parfum? Are we engaged with the higher self? Let's get testing. I love the original, so I'm really curious just to see what happens with it. So the cannabis note is really prevalent, and that is the vetiver and the lots of fruit molecules to give you that sort of herbaceous. Oh, it's drying a bit weird. Oh, I've got to say to you, within these sort of formulations, you kind of want a bit of everything, so everyone kind of likes it. It's like you get with the big companies, you kind of get one go at it. So you've got to be sort of, with this sort of price, mass appealing. Holding my Thunderbolt. Definitely ISO super base, expansive from the apple acetates and, you know, all that sort of elevating raw materials in there. This is undoubtedly masculine, built for men, and the way they're doing that is through the choice of sort of the way they're building it. The hydromuscinol and then backing it against musk accord. And I've spoken about musk accords before, and some people can smell different types of musks and some people can't. And so for something like this, you would have clean white musk, either galaxide or ethylene brassylate, have something along the middle, like sort of hannibalide, and then you would sort of smooth it out with sort of a muscone or ambrettolide. And ambrettolide is what is in this, and that gives that clean, snappy finish. The core of this is that sweet. So once this is dried down and got that awful cannabis note is gone, which I really, really didn't like, to be quite honest with you, you're left with the glutinates, the sort of the fruit molecules, that is the core of this, that sort of fruit sweetness to it. And then sort of the patchouli to sort of smooth it out. On to my final thoughts. A little bit disappointed if I'm kind of honest with you. The original one I kind of really loved. This smells like sweet. It smells like a sort of a 1 million thing, that sort of range. This could fit into a 1 million range. And I'm not really partial to ethyl maltol whipping for the base, you know, with the fruit molecules. I like ethyl maltol with sort of vanilla and coumarin and wood molecules. I think it's beautiful then and sort of the right choice. But when you've got all those sort of the glutinates, the acetates, the Damasco molecules, when you add in ethyl maltol, you get sort of like a saccharine sort of taste, smell. Go from my marks for you. Box is safe, legal, compliant. Gets 2 out of 2. Fantastic. Next 2 marks are longevity and projection. It's a perfume, so with that sort of concentration, the way it's been built, it's going to be base heavy. Perfumes, eau de parfums, and eau de toilettes are built differently. It isn't just the concentration. So this has been built like a parfum. So this is very good, excellent. It's going to sit flatter to the skin and it's going to radiate off. That's kind of like how it's been built. Their dry down's better, actually. I quite like the dry down. Next marks are the price. I kind of think it's awesome for the price. A little bit cumbersome with the bottle. Bottle's not the easiest to hold, is it? Next four marks are whether I like it or not. I don't know whether I've smelt so many fragrances that kind of things like this just all sort of smell, you know, kind of the same, if I'm very honest with you. It kind of smells a little bit like the freshies, the sort of £50 freshies all sort of smell the same. And I've noticed that the £50 sort of like gourmand sort of fragrances, amber fragrance, oriental fragrances, sort of all sort of smell the same. So where I am now is that this kind of smells the same as, unfortunately, all like the 1 million range, which is sort of sweet oriental freshies. How would I improve upon it? I don't think I could for the price. So I'm going to put it out there. For the price, I think it's absolutely awesome. I think if the price went higher, I'd sort of remove aroma chemicals through it and base it out a lot more more patchouli, a lot more sandalwood, some cyprol. And I would sweeten it through naturally, through sort of sweet orange, mandarin. I kind of would have done that with it, and I think it would have made it smell more natural. The problem is that it smells really synthetic. And I kind of now, as a human being, I don't really like that sort of synthetic sort of sweetness to it. I prefer more natural sweetness to it. But the demographic this is aimed for is sort of 16 to 24, sort of everything about it. So I kind of think if you're 16 to 24, it's kind of awesome. I think it's lovely. And I kind of think if I was 16 to 24, I'd love it. Nice and dark and sort of smooth. I would amp the patchouli up, actually. I'll put in some ionones, but then it would be more suitable for 24 plus. So I'm going to mark it an 8 out of 10. I kind of think it's all right. I think it's very good for the money. I think the longevity is very good. I think there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just, it's kind of not for me. And I'm kind of, if I'm very honest with you, quite bored of smelling the same sort of stuff moving through the sort of fragrance universe. And I kind of think that's very fair. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.